Polykarpos Yiannoudes, General Manager of UiBS. He's going to give a presentation on securing the connected ecosystem. And then it's followed with a panel discussion, the AI courtroom, a mock trial. We have a drop of person, Maria Athanasiou will not be able to join us, but instead we managed to get now on the spot, let me get the name to say correctly, Angelina Aliapeva is going to replace Maria Athanasiou. So as soon as the presentation is ready and Polis is wired, not yet, we can start. I want to remind you that at the registration desk, there we have two people from Mikri Heroes that they are waiting for your donations. As you know, there is no entrance fee for coming to our conferences, but we would like to kindly ask you if you could donate a small amount to the supporting charity foundation we have today. As I mentioned, it is Mikri Heroes. I leave you with that, and I pass on now to Polykarpos Yiannoudes, General Manager of UiBS. Polykarpos, the floor is yours.
We can start. Welcome, everyone. We're going to discuss about the synergy and friction between human and machine intelligence. My name is Polykarpos Yiannoudes. I'm the General Manager of UiBS. We've been a Microsoft partner for the past 25 years, consulting organizations to realize their full potential through Microsoft technologies and through operating the intersection between technology, regulation, mission-critical operations, and scalable solutions across highly regulated and operationally demanding sectors, including maritime and shipping, travel and tourism, legal and financial services. So, before we dive in, today was a three-session seminar, conference. The first part was about intelligent skies. And I hope we understand communication and the role of communication and today's state of communication when it comes to vessels. The second part was greatly discussed around securing the seas and securing the vessels and the importance of cybersecurity. What I will try to do in the next 15 minutes is to understand the impact of AI and how do we go about guiding your way in enabling AI for your organizations. So I will try to make it a very practical and a very engaging multi-slide presentation to see where that will take us. So, transformation usually brings friction. And why is that? Because you have all these different departments or decision makers wanting to react on what we call transformation. You have decision makers struggling to quantify and integrate AI. You have IT pressure to lead AI transformation, but feels ill-equipped. They need more, they don't have it. You have security and governance, regulatory requirements, which is top of the mind. You have your end users seeking out to use AI tools, whether the organization has provided it or not. And then you have functional leaders needing to transform business processes for organization-wide outcomes. So all these different topics create friction. Given everything we've been seeing in the market, one thing has become clear. 82% of leaders expect to use agents, AI agents, in the next 12 to 18 months to meet demand for workforce capacity. So what are agents, really? Agents use AI to automate and execute business processes, working alongside or on behalf of a person or a team or the entire organization. So from today's experience, it can be a very simple request and retrieval experience, just like we all use Copilot or ChatGPT, or it can go all the way to autonomous and an advanced agent where it behaves only by itself. And that will be the fourth topic we will discuss when we come to autonomous vessels. So bear with me, please. Bear with me. So how do we create agents? On behalf of Microsoft, a message from the sponsor. We have agents for end users, which is called the Copilot Studio. It's a tool that you can naturally write, and it will create your own agents. And for developers, there is Copilot Studio, Azure AI Foundry, and VS Code. These are specific tools for more advanced developers that can start integrating not only a standalone agent, but through integrating through MCPs, APIs, your data, your organization's data. And it's great to know that you can connect all these agents regardless of where they are built. So as you see, agents can talk to other agents, and they can talk to other models, they can talk to other vendors, so you are not locked through a specific vendor solution. And we see that this type of agents can now talk to the Google Cloud, the Amazon Web Service, Vertex, Perplexity, Cloud, Gemini, and all these great companies that appear to provide the information we need today. Let's now move to the next concept. Have you ever heard of the word frontier firm? Me neither. I just learned it a few months ago. So to bring humans and agents together to work in synergy, there is a new model. It's called the frontier firm. And the frontier firm is basically the distinction that it's an organizational redesign and not a technology adoption. The term frontier firm comes from Microsoft 2025 Work Trend Index. They basically interviewed and analyzed the logs of about 300,000 Microsoft 365 tenants, and a subsequent research from UiBS that describes organizations that move beyond using AI as a tool. They redesign themselves around AI as a core operating capability. And this is the biggest change that we need to understand, in my opinion, if we want to succeed in this new environment. So most of us today, we are on this stage, on phase one. We are humans, and we have what we call an assistant, a Copilot agent, or GitHub, or ChatGPT, and we interact. A human with assistant that every employee has that helps them work better and faster. Most of you fit here today. The next phase, as most of these very large companies see it for the next 12 to 18 months, is that human and agent teams become one. So you do not only interact with one assistant. It's not a one-to-one relationship where you type something, you get a response back. That's pretty good, that's very intelligent. But we come now to a level where you will have multiple agents. And how do you decide which agent does what? It's part of the second topic we will discuss. But basically, multiple agents doing different things to help you work more efficiently. And the next phase is human-led agent-operated organizations, where specific employees manage, they become the boss of these agents. And this is where it's going. So humans will set the direction for agents, and these agents will run entire business processes. And this is not science fiction, right? So navigating through this journey to become a frontier firm will require two key shifts compared to the AI transformation that we have been doing until today. We need organizations to prepare their workforce for a world where humans and agents collaborate. And we need our organizations to recognize and plan the economies of this, the economies of the digital labor, which is completely different from the way we are realizing our business value today. So the workforce readiness prepares humans to agent ratios, and that's a decision you need to make, and we will decide how you make that decision. You help everyone in your organization to become an agent boss, and you reskill people for future growth. So let's consider the economics of this. There is a new lever now for margin improvement and a new lens to analyze the impact of this. On the top part, we optimize headcount growth, we fuel growth with humans and agents, and we reduce expected headcount growth and overall employee expenditures, which is a first in the 21st century. And we create new revenue streams, focus on people with higher value and more strategic initiatives leading to new revenue streams. What these two will do is increase your profit margin growth. So for CFOs or those who analyze the financials of the company, on our income statement, we need to introduce a new account, and we call it digital labor. Digital labor, cost of goods sold. You will be paying for this. It's called a license. And on your operating expenses, we need to add an additional counter account called digital labor expenditure. And these two will become the value of recognizing the digital labor as a distinct investment outside of IT budgets, which will highlight its unique value and transformative impact to your organization. Now, let's go back to our topic, solutions, and how do we bring synergy? This is one of my favorite slides, not because it has actually a human person in it, which is also very important, but because it discusses about memory, data, and inference. And this is something that many organizations miss today. So basically, for these agents to work, to put it very simply, they need your memory. Where is your memory stored? It's stored in your style of writing, in your day-to-day habits, in your relationships, in your workflows. And it also requires your organization individual content, like the files, the emails, the meeting minutes, and all the line of business data you've been storing for the past 20, 30 years. These are so critical. Many people, let's put a new IRP, there's no history, there's nothing there. Let's make a new account, but there's no sent emails from the past 20 years. The agent will not understand why we needed to understand, because we are looking for inference. The agent will become you to do the hard work for you, to do the easy work for you, but to become like you, it needs all this information. And that's the contextual insights and predictive actions from across your data and memory. So let's look at some innovation ideas. You can scrap Microsoft 365 if you are with another vendor, but these are basically 5, 10 companies across the world that can do this. You have personal and team productivity. You have business processes that need to be grounded, and when we say grounded, we need to upload all the data that your company has now, whether it's on the cloud, on servers, or somewhere else, for Work IQ to start becoming productive. It will not be immediate, but the biggest difference between anything we've seen in technology versus this technology is that it learns. Learning is something we are just understand on this technology. It's not just very smart and it goes out and it has all the information from the web, forget the information from the web. It's your information that you will learn it to behave, to help you to grow your company. And it's enterprise ready because it goes back to what the previous panel discussed. You need security, compliance, and manageability before you enable this thing so that you can be 100% secure your data, your intellectual property, your IP stays within your company. So Copilot or Gemini or any other of the top 3 or 5 will protect what matters most while empowering your business to innovate confidently. So this is a sample of Work IQ agents that are ready out of the box. You can see there is a researcher, there is a surveyor, there is an interpreter, there is a facilitator for your meetings. It goes all the way to every action you may have. And it also connects with any other of these trusted third-party agents that are available today. So it's not only a Microsoft product or a Google product, you can connect it with any other company that integrates, let's say, with these agents. So what are the tools to secure and govern your agents' use? Very similar to what you're used today. Identity is number 1. Identity is everything. Who logs in when? What does it do? Is it audited? It will address any oversharing concerns you may have, so you can make it very strict. This is financial data. I don't want any other agent to have access to it. These are HR data. I want only HR to have access to that data. So it will protect against data loss and insider risks and will govern the use of meeting regulations and policies. You have analytics. So that now becomes the new tool of the people who monitor the agents. So instead of doing the work, we will be monitoring what the agents have done the past days, the past weeks, the past months, and you will have all the reports and return on investment measurements by the minute. So, why Copilot? At least from our view, because it's an all-in-one productivity app. It's integrated in the tools that millions use every day. It has Work IQ out of the box. It's an agent platform today. It's not anymore a productivity platform. It has a full control system based on Entra ID, which you all use every day with multi-factor and all that. And it has multi-model choice. You can choose any model you wish to develop your agents. Let's move to our third and last bit. What are the actions for a frictionless synergy? So we want to avoid what we discussed on the first part, and we want to meet synergy as fast as possible to remain relevant. Because as we see, a lot of new frontier companies are coming out. They are doing things almost 80% with what we do with human resources, so we need to catch up. Transformation is the goal. During this momentum, frontier firms center AI, authority, liability, neutrality still lag behind. So, most of vendors like Microsoft will tell you, go enable Gen AI today. Chat and prepare your workforce. Define core unit of work, and so on and so forth. We believe that securing, governing, and complying your data is the first thing you should do before you attempt to deliver a successful proof of concept. Secure, govern, comply your data, understand what each one of these points needs, do that correctly, and then you can start enabling it so that you don't have to worry, oh, my data was stolen or my data is somewhere that it shouldn't be. And then you follow this playbook. It's a very standard playbook, but if you skip any of these points, you'll probably miss the opportunity to have a successful proof of concept. And guess what? What happened in the States? Last year, there's been an MIT NANDA initiative from MIT Business Loan Affiliated Research Group. And they interviewed about 10,000 companies that attempted to do pilots with AI, and 95% failed. So if you want to be part of the 5%, we need to understand what's going on. Because that 5% next year will be 10%, 2 years from now about 25%, and in 5 years it will be an out-of-the-box experience. But why do proof of concepts for AI fail today? Companies still treat AI as if it's a new tool. Oh, it's the new Outlook. Oh, it's Outlook and has these new features. There is lack of workflow integration. So if your workflow is not well defined on paper, I would say, AI and agents will not bring miracles to it. There is weak data foundations and learning gaps. So you cannot teach an AI to become a maritime expert just because it's the most expensive agent in the world. It needs your data foundation. It can be from your POP3 or IMAP emails you have stored somewhere on a disk or even on your own OSTs or PSTs. The machine needs all of this to understand how you progressed, how your business progressed throughout the years, and how you became the company you are today by indexing, grounding all this data. And the highest returns for these proof of concepts are seen in core operations and back office processes, not really in demonstrations, in chatbots, or in marketing use cases. So this is the reality. Yes. 2 minutes. So let's prepare the workforce, work with HR to define agent versus human roles, consider human-agent ratios, build an agent boss skill set, and plan for talent redeployment. Focus on the core unit of work, self-contained cluster of work that is transformed with AI to create value. What is this really all about? It's about understanding every employee's core units of work units. So you cannot create an insurance, for example, claim insurance agent to become an HR agent and expect the agent to do it. You need to take the position, the role, break it down to core units, and then you will break it down by strategic planning and by tactical problem solving. For example, an HR service request handling, a marketing campaign initiation, an invoice reconciliation. We have experts from ERP here. They can confirm that invoice reconciliation now and bank reconciliation on Business Central, for example, is now a click of a button. We used to spend months to reconcile thousands of lines of bank accounts. On the tactical problem solving, we have information aggregation, project status report creation, and meeting preparation. These are routines that are occurring across different kinds of work, and they need a different pattern to become operative. Closing, we prioritize and scope agentic initiatives. We consider the impact and feasibility of each initiative so that we can go back to our boards, or if we are our own boards, to know exactly where the quick wins are, what are the tactical improvements, what are the strategic bets, and what are the future considerations. And every one of these, of course, has an impact on your ROI and the time and effort required. We validate through proof of concept or pilot, and I'm closing, Adonis. There's two distinct points here. Don't mix proof of concept with pilots. Proof of concepts should never go to production, and we've seen this become almost a norm now, with companies having the pressure to embrace AI. So they take a proof of concept that is basically what it says. It's a proof of concept. It's not a complete solution. And they take that to production, and it's a failure, so people are not happy. So if you want to take something on production, you start from a proof of concept, then you make a pilot with all these technologies and information, and that is what you take to production. There is a decision tree. You can access my presentation later. And finally, you assess and scale, evaluate and refine. So it's a cyclical effort, just like everything else in our environment. So how do we prepare for the future of AI? Make these 3 questions, and if you have the answers, you're on the right track. Are your leaders engaged and employees ready? Do you have a culture of learning and the right skills? And can you measure business value and continuously improve? So basically, if you have all those 3 in place, or if you are considering them, you are definitely on the right track.